Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really plunging into the heart of storytelling.
Yeah, looking at how certain stories become unforgettable.
Exactly. And specifically, this concept called Chekhov's gun.
Mm.
We're using this incredible, source material for a film called The Abandoned Baby to explore it. It's a multi-generational story.
Powerful stuff.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
So picture this, 1990s Russia, post-Soviet times. It's bleak.
Overwhelming poverty, yeah.
And you have Tatyana Podkoritov,
Yeah.
her partner, Andrei, he's conscripted, sent off to a really brutal war.
And she's pregnant, right?
Yes. And facing this, she makes just an agonizing decision to abandon her newborn son, Andrei Jr.
Wow.
The story then tracks the ripples, across decades. It ends with Andrei Jr., now a U.S. soldier, returning to his birthplace, Irkutsk.
Without even knowing it's his birthplace.
Exactly, unwittingly. So that massive scope brings us to Chekhov's gun.
Right, so Chekhov's gun isn't always like a literal gun.
Not always literal, no.
It's more a narrative principle. Basically, anything you introduce, especially something you draw attention to, it has to pay off.
It needs a purpose later on.
It absolutely must serve a purpose. If you show that pistol hanging on the wall in Act 1...
It's got to be fired by Act 3, metaphorically or literally.
Precisely. And in movies, this is so often visual. You use the camera to say, this matters.
You establish its significance.
And then later, there's a visual firing, a moment where that object changes the narrative.
Okay, so for a complex story like The Abandoned Baby, spanning years, continents, how do you do that?
That's the challenge, right? Bridging those huge gaps.
You need something tangible.
A unifying object, something that can travel through the story and connect these different lives.
And here it's not, say, a teddy bear, which you might expect.
No, something much more specific, much more resonant.
It's a hand-carved wooden bird.
Yes. And that choice is brilliant.
Why the bird, specifically?
Well, it connects deeply to Siberian folk art, Slavic tradition, plus its origin.
It's from the father, Andrei. He made it.
Exactly. He's a carpenter. So it's infused with his identity, his hope, right from the start, not just some generic item.
Okay, so it's got this built-in history. How does it function as this Chekhov's gun?
It works across 4 key stages. First is the planting.
Setting it up.
Right. Before Andrei leaves for the war, he gives the bird to Tatyana, who's pregnant. He says something like, I carved this for the baby's cradle.
Oh, wow.
So he knows his father was a carpenter, not just a soldier. Promise you'll keep it safe. It's about hope, his identity, a promise he'll return.
A promise that gets heavy fast.
Tragically heavy. Which leads to stage 2, the sacrifice.
When she leaves the baby.
Yes. Tatyana leaves that very wooden bird with Andrei Jr. when she abandons him. It's transformed
from a gift to something else.
To like this profound act of love under duress. A prayer, maybe, the only piece of his heritage, his father, she can give him.
Just heartbreaking, so it stays with him.
It does. Stage 3, the reminder. The bird shows up in Andrei Jr.'s life in America. Maybe he finds it in his adoption papers box, Sees flashes of it in nightmares, even.
So it's this mysterious thing from his unknown past.
Exactly. An enigma. It's fueling this subconscious search for who he is. It's the gun hanging on the wall of his psyche, sort of.
Waiting to be fired. Which brings us to the payoff.
The payoff. Stage 4. This happens when Andrei Jr. is deployed in Irkutsk, back where he began.
Okay.
He's drawn, maybe instinctively, to a particular house. It has distinctive hand-carved birds decorating the window frames.
Like his bird.
Very similar. He feels compelled to knock. He's holding his own weathered bird.
Who answers?
An older Tatyana. Or maybe even Andrei, if he survived and returned somehow. They see the bird he's holding.
Instant recognition.
A lifetime collapses in that moment. Connection across decades. Destiny fulfilled. The gun is finally fired.
And the bird itself, its meaning, it's not static, is it? You mentioned folklore.
Not at all. In Slavic tradition, birds can mean so many things. Hope, like birds signaling spring. The soul, messengers between worlds. Motherhood, enduring love.
So its meaning kind of evolves with the story, with the characters.
Absolutely. And remember the context. 1990s Russia, economic collapse, war, no safety net. That environment is almost an antagonist itself.
Forcing these terrible choices.
Right. And the bird, this piece of old Russia folk art, travels through all that chaos. It represents resilience.
And it ties everyone together.
Intricately. For Tatyana, it's her sacrifice, made physical. For Andrei, maybe lost family, a chance for redemption if he sees it again. For Andrei Jr.,
it's the key.
the key to everything, his identity, his past, his destiny.
Wow. Okay, so stepping back, what's the big takeaway here for us, for you listening?
I think it shows how powerful a single, well-chosen object can be.
It's not just set dressing.
Not at all. It carries the emotional weight, the themes. It transforms a series of events into something deeply interconnected, a saga.
Yeah.
It's about building that resonance through details that matter.
Making the story stick.
Yeah, making it unforgettable. Which leads to a question, maybe? What about in your own life, or in other stories you love? Are there small details, things easily overlooked?
That might actually be the most important. Chekhov's guns.
Exactly. Waiting to reveal their real significance. What are those hidden keys?
Something to think about. Thank you for taking this deep dive with us today.